Good morning. It is Thursday. It is Thursday, all day today. Welcome to your Lockdown Live number 28. The number of the house that I was born at, number 28. So there you go. Today I wanted to look at the science of kindness. Why? Because I think sometimes kindness gets confused. Oh, we should be kind to each other. And yes, we should. We should be kind to each other. But actually, there's a real science behind it. And there's a real science behind how, or the profound effect that it can have on us when we are kind to others. I always remember years ago, many years ago, having a conversation with a friend and saying, "Is there any such act that we can do that does not have any kind of payback?" And the answer that we came to many years ago was no, there wasn't, because everything has some sort of payback. But now scientifically, we know that there is always a payback to kindness. It's sometimes referred to as the helper's high. The helper's high refers to when so there's certain chemicals released uh, when we deliver an act of kindness. So there's like this chain reaction with chemicals, as there often is. So excuse me. So oxytocin is released. Oxytocin is good for blood vessels, which expand the blood vessels, which reduces blood pressure. How amazing is that? Serotonin is also released, which helps heal wounds and helps us relax. Some of the benefits from long-term acts of kindness, so just like little acts of kindness every day, little things, are things like it reduces stress, it reduces anxiety, and it's good for the heart. Good for the heart because of the chemicals that are released. So it does make us feel better. Not only does an act of kindness offer to somebody else and take into their world and give them something, and these are little things like, I don't know. I always think quite a nice one is for your partner or significant other is that you put their nightwear, their PJs or nightie or whatever it is they wear, on the radiator for when they get in from work, and just warm them through a little bit, or have a drink ready for them, or give them a cup of tea in bed, or little. Sometimes acts of kindness are acts of kindness that happen out of the blue. So if somebody gets a cup of tea in bed every day, then it's not going to be so special. Do you know what I mean? Because it's something that's done every day. That's not to say that it's dismissed, because it's not dismissed, but it's still it's something that's almost become expected. So we're talking about random acts of kindness, stuff that you just do for people uh, without even thinking about it. But it does definitely have a payback on ourselves. Uh, Interestingly, when I looked at the Action for Happiness calendar today, and this was not planned, I promise you this was not planned. The Action for Happiness calendar task today was focus on being kind instead of right. So the universe aligned today in terms of these two subjects. So focus on being kind instead of right. Often, if we are trying to be right, then it's our ego at work. We have this ego that is ego's important because because it's about survival. Ego. But when we are trying to be right, instead of going, okay, let's just agree to disagree and be really okay with that, then it's usually your ego at work. But today's Action for Happiness action was focus on being kind instead of being right. So let's see how you get on with that one. The other thing I wanted to say about kindness was, as humans, we come from this place of we are helpers for each other, and the reason there's a baseline for that. The reason that we go to help each other is because if we help each other, then we protect the survival of the species, us. So we are kind of helper animals. That's it's in our baseline, and that's why when we do that, it does begin to release all of these different chemicals. I do feel that sometimes we get very hunkered. We get very hunkered down into our own little worlds, into our own little protection, into our own little shells. We're like this, and we're just like, I just need to survive. I just need to survive. And actually, interestingly, last year when all of this started, I saw more and more acts of kindness than ever. So maybe that came from a very natural place of people just going, I want to help. I want to help. because that is our baseline as humans. We want to help. So try and force that a little bit, because there is a payback. It does help you. Welcome to everybody that's tuning in from Home Radio's Facebook page. Oh, just to mention as well that there is definitely a lag on this. In the beginning of the recording, the lag goes within about a minute and a half. I don't know why there's a lag. It just happens. Nothing really I can do about it. Sorry. A couple of people have mentioned it. Don't forget, if we are not covering subjects here that you want us to cover, then please message me. You can message me privately. I won't mention your name, and we will definitely pick up subjects. And it's actually really helpful as well. It's actually a little bit kind as well to give us subjects that you really want covering, because then we know we are hitting the mark with what you want. Next week, I'm going to look at, so from Tuesday to Saturday, I think I'm going to look at thinking styles. I think it'd be really interesting to look a little bit deeper, or briefly, into all of the different thinking styles we can have and how we can then begin to change them. So don't forget, these little poppets of psychology right here are all about keeping you healthier during the current period, and also allowing you to grow a little bit. You know, this is all about growth. Yeah, this is anything you hear here hopefully allows you to just grow a little bit, and then we can all grow. And if we can grow, then we can maybe be a little bit happier and more peaceful, which is my absolute aim for the world around us. Okay, so if you got any subjects, please message them in. So just to recap, kindness, the science behind kindness is our baseline is we are a helper type animal. So the reason we are a helper type animal is because it ensures the survival of the species. When we go to help somebody, we get a release of certain chemicals and hormones, oxytocin, which is really good for blood vessels and reduces blood pressure, and that's amazing, that one. Kindness in essence helps reduce stress and anxiety, and is good for the heart, and it can offer a calmer, healthier, warmer feeling for us as well. Okay, so go and be kind to somebody. A little act of kindness. Drop a cake on a neighbour's doorstep, or buy somebody a coffee, or put the PJs on the radiator. Anything like that. Just something kind. One last thing before I go. When we do an act of kindness, try not to have an expectation of what's going to come back. And the reason we don't do that is because quite often with expectations, there is a disappointment that we don't get the reaction that we might have wanted to get. Okay, so don't look for a reaction, because then, or don't have an expectation on what the reaction might be, because then you might get disappointed. Just do it because you want to do it, and because you just want to be kind, and then just leave it right there. Anything that then comes back at you is just amazing and just wonderful. Okay, I will be back tomorrow, which is Friday at 8:15, for another Lockdown Live and another subject, maybe a subject that you have messaged in with. Okay, have a wonderful day. Please be kind to one another, and especially kind to yourself. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.